Welcome back to the latest episode of our Meet the Mentor series here at MentorMe. Got the very special guest of Bradley from Educate2Trade. He's our first trading mentor that we've had on the show. So, Brad, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Bradley Goldberg, one of the founders and CEO of Educate2Trade. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. So obviously Educate2Trade is very much an education company for trading, but obviously you've got your trading floor as well in Bromley. So What took you into trading, I guess, is the very first step to start off at?
Yeah, I mean, I was playing football at the time, so that's how I started, as a footballer.
You got a knee injury, right, and didn't become professional.
But I was always interested in earning, had a lot of time on my hands. Self-taught trader about 12 years ago now.
Wow.
And then started becoming consistent, building a track record, and then things just started evolving from there to develop the company. Knew at the time there wasn't funded accounts and things like that, so when I started to become a consistent trader, I knew I needed more capital to trade with.
Yeah.
And at the time you needed to be regulated, well, you still kind of do.
Yeah.
But obviously there's more funded accounts available now. That's how I met my business partner Steve, who owned an investment advisory company.
Okay.
And then it enabled me to sort of trade more funds. And then the education side kind of evolved over the years. We decided to set up a trading floor and teach people how to trade to then, give them a chance and back them. So we have traders trading for us on the trading floor and got a good environment. Yeah.
Well, I think that's so important as well, because like trade, and we are going to come onto it in a little bit, but trading is probably one of the highest like type of ones that I see scams in. It's awful, honestly. The amount of people out there that claim they're traders and don't
Especially
do
on
it.
social media.
Oh, it's so bad, honestly. Like trading is definitely the worst one out of all of them, alongside maybe dropshipping or property. But so obviously you've been trading 12 years. That's obviously a long time to be trading. You've traded through a credit crunch and a recession when nobody had any money to be trading. Yeah. COVID, where probably everyone started trading, even though the markets all went down. Obviously, all of these retail investors, there's films being made with like the GameStop stuff going on. So, what actually made you learn? Like, how many things did you have to overcome to learn to trade? Because it's not the easiest skill to pick up.
I think that's the key, is learning from your own mistakes. Like I said, it probably took me 2-3 years, and I just found a strategy that worked for me. Very simple strategy, and then I kind of homed in on that, and you end up sort of cutting out all the errors and doing like a trading plan and working out what works and what doesn't. But again, that's like you say, volatile conditions change, things happen around the world all the time, so you always have to adapt your strategy. But I think because of my experience, obviously I can pass that on and help people, point them in the direction a lot quicker. I think that's the whole thing about the education side is, I mean, I've got 12 years, but we've got mentors with over 40 years.
Yeah, you've got.
And even now, I can lean on them, and that's the whole point of having a trading floor. It's the environment.
I think that's also really nice, because I think too many people are just retail traders now, and like you're trading. Obviously, the whole lifestyle that people look at and go, "Oh wow, this is amazing," is I can trade on my phone. Oh look, I've just made $10 million and stuff, and it's just like.
Unfortunately, that's what we're fighting with. It's taken a while to build up a credible brand, and then when you've got other people on social media advertising, I've made £1 million today or £10,000. It's quite hard to compete against that, because actually people believe that.
It's tough, and I would say you definitely. Obviously, you wouldn't be on the site otherwise, because we vet everyone, but you are like one of the most credible companies in the UK and probably globally, right, that do this type of thing. Because the thing that annoys me the most is people literally will do these clips where they're showing probably fake accounts where they're making all this money, and then it's like, here, buy my Signal group and you can copy all this money. And like you get these people, like these influencers that push this type of stuff when they've got 200, 300, 400, 500,000 followers, and you're setting people up to lose money. Like all of the way, as far as I'm concerned, is these Signal groups work is that, okay, you sign up with my link and whatever you deposit, I get a cut of it anyway. I don't really care if you succeed.
Off the referrals.
And
that's where they earn the bulk of their money rather than actually the trading itself.
And I think that's the thing that annoys me. And obviously part of what we look at with like mentorship and the people that are entrepreneurs in these fields is you need to be making money doing the skill that you're doing. So like trading is extremely profitable if you are good at it. And I think that's why you have to learn from someone. So obviously your experience and your strategy, can you dive into that a little bit at all in terms of what made you come up with your own strategy? Like what are some of the lessons learned that you've been from trading over your time?
I think it's just experience and learning things, and then say I had 10 strategies, I'd then back test everything I'm doing, and then you kind of narrow that down to say 4 or 5 because you realise they're the most profitable ones, and then you just stick to those. So every week I have a trading plan. I know what I'm trading for the week. A lot of where people go wrong is they overtrade
stocks,
their
FX,
risk management. Because once you kind of, obviously I can teach, from my experience, I can teach people quite quickly how to make money with the right strategies. But then where people can go wrong is when they start making money, their mindset... That
goes out the window.
Yeah, it's their mindset, this is easy, too easy. Then they dive in and start overtrading again, gambling. And then when they have like a losing trade, how do they manage their risk? A lot of the time we see it, you have a losing trade and then they start chasing that trade. And I think it's, with experience, you then you need to treat it as like it is a business.
Yeah.
Like when you're a trader, this is your life.
Yeah, this is your income.
It's your income. So then you need to be professional and disciplined and treat it like your income. And I think that's the key.
I think it's consistent by the sounds of it. Like, I mean, it's every single day. If you hit your profit goal for the day, you're done. You don't start chasing more. You've done your trades for the day. Like, move on. As much as you think, I want to chase this high, it's amazing. You've just got to be so disciplined. And I guess that's where a lot of people go wrong. So the people that start out, obviously, it's very difficult when you don't have the capital and also you don't know the skills. Obviously, for some people, they won't be able to afford any like mentorship, and that's just the world we live in. Unfortunately, not everyone can afford it. So for those people that are starting without any capital, what would you suggest to them? Would it be starting with the dummy accounts that you can start with against the live market?
We always say, look, say we have people on our mentorship program for 6 months or to a year. We always say, look, start on a demo account. Just become
confident.
Don't. That's the thing with people online. It's like make money tomorrow.
And
but just get consistent on a demo account. Learn the strategies. Then once you become consistent, just slowly grow your own trading account. Because all people are looking for is a track record, just a bit of consistency over a period of time, 6 months to a year, and then people will back you. Or there are funded accounts out there now.
Pass an exam, and they give you.
Yeah, they're funded accounts you have access to now that you can. It enables you to scale up. So I just say, when you're new, just focus on your consistency first, and then the money will come. Obviously, it's a very it is a great
piles
job.
Up, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, you can scale up very quickly, but
can also snowball quite downhill.
That's why consistency is the most important thing, because once you start developing strategies that work, then it's a very
there's a fine line between trading and gambling, right? I mean, and where do you see that line? Again,
it's discipline.
Yeah,
it's having a trading plan, treating it like a professional job. If you go off your trading plan, you then realise you're gambling.
Yeah, exactly.
You're chasing honestly, that's why I think the stats is like 76%.
Like on CFDs,
because most of them are just gambling.
Literally, like. And I see it a lot. Obviously, people will also jump around. They won't learn the instruments that they're trading. So, like, one day they're trading FX pairs, next day they're trading crypto pairs, the next day they're trading stocks. Like,
I think with us, like, what we find is online, if you just go online and learn how to trade, we get loads of people come to us and they learn technical. There's a lot of like jargon, technical analysis out there that people go on YouTube and look for. And I think if you come to our trading floor, you'll see most of us trade on news.
I think
that's a very different way. More, I know, like, because Neil's had institutional backgrounds and quite a lot of us
don't read too much on charts. Do they?
We trade, worldwide events and things that happen in the market, and a lot of people come to us not being told to avoid that kind of thing. So I don't know, online there seems to be a different sort of presence and
I think a lot of people, and I mean, that's obviously why like big investment banks have whole teams that do analyst reports. Like, that's the whole point of it, is like, someone's announcing their price return or quarterly return or whatever, and it's like, well, this is what the analyst thinks it will be, and obviously if this happens, price goes up. If it doesn't, it goes down. Like, you get all of these Bank of England meetings, you get all these different events that I don't think like the average retail trader is very well aware of at all, right? So
whereas we focus on them events. I mean, changing sort of policies, what moves the markets.
I mean, look at when Liz Truss became Prime Minister.
Exactly, stuff like inflation, interest rates. There's so much going on at the minute. If you're not aware of that, having your technical strategy is great, but if you're not aware of what's going on with the news, then I mean, look at things going on around the world at the moment. you know, it creates more volatility in the market. You have to be aware of how it impacts the markets.
So obviously you trade obviously primarily based on news then. So what would you say is your like number one like trading instrument? Is it Forex? Is it crypto? Is it stocks, options?
It's the right contract for the right news.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So
political answer.
Well, if I'm trading, like yesterday we had UK inflation data in the UK. Was predicted to come down a little bit because we've raised our interest rates. It came out slightly higher than they thought again, which is
so the markets went the other way.
Frustrating for the UK economy.
Yeah.
So just on that figure, you'd see the FTSE 100 come off and the pound, rally.
Yeah.
So you trade them specific to the UK, whereas if I was trading US data, I'll be trading
S&P
like Wall Street S&P and the US dollar. And again, likewise for gold and.
Well, I mean, I imagine obviously all of the war that's going on.
Gold, you trade gold and oil because gold and oil commodities rise on war. So it's things like that.
It's an awful situation how everything's going on, but look, there's money to be made if you're a trader, right? Is probably the easiest way to say it. So obviously you're trading all of that. You then go into starting an education company. What was some of the challenges that you found when you were trying to learn trading? Because obviously there wasn't probably any decent people out there that you could learn from unless you went and worked at a bank. Because I mean, like historically for me as well, obviously I work at an investment bank, so I'm exposed to a lot of the financial world. But for me, like historically, to me, when you say trader, you're thinking, well, for Wall Street, you're thinking somebody on a trading floor, the stock exchange, right? I mean, not somebody.
But it's all changed. I know Neil, who's one of our head mentors, on the live floor, it used to be open outcry. So there was like
shouting all the numbers.
I bid you here, I offer you here. All the prices. Obviously now it's all electronic online. But being self-taught, because I was self-taught, I'd say the challenges are just it costs you money because you're learning from mistakes. Whereas if you are educated by someone, obviously we can sort of fast track that process and kind of point you in the right direction a lot quicker.
I think education is key, right, to overcome any challenge and making sure that you don't hit the same challenges again. So before we sort of come on to the mentorship that you guys offer in a little bit, I'd like to get your take on a number of things. Obviously, some of the things that we discussed sort of off air, right? Obviously, crypto is huge. It's almost everyone that I talk to about trading is either Forex or crypto. They don't really look at the stock market. They don't look at options. They don't look at some of the other stuff. And obviously, you can buy bonds. I don't think you probably don't trade that many bonds because they're more investing, right? But like, what is your take on the whole crypto stuff? Obviously, FTX went bust. I got caught up in that. Sillily enough for me, I left all of my crypto on the FTX exchange rather than putting it in Trust Wallet. But look, you live and you learn.
I know a lot of people in the same boat.
I mean, like, you look at a lot of these companies, like Kryptonary is somebody that I follow and usually quite trust. But FTX was made by like former traders, right? Huge. They were huge. Too big to fail, which is also.
Then again, though, banks. I mean, when
too big to fail.
Too big to fail. So it's like, but obviously, the only benefit of banks is it is regulated, and you get up to 75,000. It's not much covered. In crypto, it is unregulated still. So
do you think that'll ever become regulated?
Possibly. I don't know. I just think when you're trading crypto, when you're involved in crypto, you just got to be aware of the risks.
It is just.
I mean, I've traded crypto. I've been in and out. I think it is a lucrative space, and I think it will be, used in the future. It's used now. It will definitely carry on being used in the future.
I mean, XRP was used, Bank of England, right? Exactly. I mean, obviously, I saw some really interesting news the other day that HSBC are going to start allowing people to pay mortgages off with crypto. Obviously, these big
worldwide, it really is integrated a lot now in payment systems and stuff like that. It makes sense, and it kind of makes sense that the banks didn't like it when it
because they were building. Obviously, they're not going to start endorse, and it makes me laugh a lot of the time that it's also like. I was talking to somebody the other day who sort of helps people get mortgages and financial advice, and they were talking about Klarna and obviously how that now is affecting people getting mortgages, and that's probably because the banks don't want you borrowing money from someone else that isn't a bank, right? I mean, it's such a old boys club that.
That's it, and it's like it's the next era almost, isn't it? The whole bubble of cryptos and
it's completely going to change.
I mean, the thing is, we were hearing a lot about the metaverse, and then that bubble
died.
burst.
Yeah.
But Facebook or Meta have invested billions and billions into it. So
I mean, they changed the whole business name to that.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. So in a couple of years, that might come back again. We'll see. You just don't know, do you?
I think obviously you take your picks for crypto. It is somewhat gambling, but I think as long as you, and it all comes down to like analysis, and it's like not blindly gambling. As long as you have an understanding in the technology, like if you're just buying a coin that is sitting on other technology and it's just literally a coin, like you're not going to get any value out of it. Long term, it's pump and dump usually. It's like
there's a lot of pump and dumps, and again with those, you just need to be prepared to lose it all. But I mean, some of the risk to reward back there, I traded a few of them. You're getting like 150x.
Could you imagine being on SHIB at the beginning like that? I think I saw some stats on like if you'd put like £1 in like 2-3 years ago, and then crypto it went to, I don't know what the return was, but like people were making millions from it. And the problem is, by the time you hear about it, it's way too late to invest.
That's what I mean. So you've always got to be thinking ahead. So like even now, when everyone's a bit not sure about it, it's actually the time to be in.
Yeah, dollar cost averaging into crypto, just because
then in a few years when people are all talking about it again, that's when we get out.
I think it's inevitable,
that's how
right?
The world works. It's like people were in early, then they tell everyone else, and then they use that liquidity to get out. It's like a bit like trading almost.
Yeah,
because
it is,
banks and institutions, they need, obviously they're trading a lot bigger size, so they almost use the retail money to get in and out of positions, and that's why a lot of retail get caught, because they don't understand the banking side.
Yeah, well, and obviously it's quite difficult to trade up against somebody who's on a Bloomberg terminal, isn't it? But it's quite interesting. Like I think, like I'm obviously in crypto as well, and I mean, buying like Bitcoin now, and I'm not going to give advice or anything, but like it's inevitable that it will go past its peak again at some point, right? I mean, and then it will come crashing down again. Like I mean, that's just the cycle that will happen. But I think when you look at some of the stats, more and more banks are getting into crypto. Like Apple was opening a trading desk on all of this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And obviously, touching on retail traders, then, so more and more people are getting into retail trading, and obviously there is this. Everyone hates the banks. Everyone just naturally hates the banks for whatever reason. Obviously, they ruined the UK economy, or global economy, I should say, in 2008. So maybe people are still hating on that. But you look at the GameStop stuff that happened. Was it 2 years ago? I think around
COVID time,
the short sellers, and how, I mean, if it didn't get intervened with, I mean, people on Reddit threads and stuff like that will be like, well, we want to take down the banks. I don't think you know what the knock-on effect is from that. Obviously, I mean, it's great if you can get your money back and make a profit yourself, but all of this GameStop stuff, if it wasn't intervened and it carried on going to, I think it got stopped at like $500 or something a share, like, but if it had gone up to over 1,000.
Oh no, there was a few hedge funds that got
you got huge hedge funds, and like you look at some of the losses that came out in the most recent accounts for a lot of the banks, you can see that some of them made huge losses, and that's because they were in bed with these hedge funds. Like,
but again, I remember trading it all at the time. It was just, you couldn't believe it. But at the end of the day, they managed to, stop the retail manipulating it and trading it, and they managed to, feel their way out of it. So,
which is, it's dodgy, isn't it? Like, to say the least. But it's a strange industry, and I think retail traders are always going to be up against it against regular institutions. You're never going to be able to fight them. So I really think being consistent and actually learning how to trade the market and not actually look for those because those quick wins come up. Yeah. But that's where most people lose all of their capital, right?
Again, it's just timing, isn't it? You need to be the first ones on the quick wins. I was surprised how much the Reddit group actually moved the market.
Oh,
it was incredible. But it just shows actually how much retail are actually, are growing. It's a really big space. Yeah. And I know a lot of the big platforms, like the CQG platforms and stuff like that, which are the professional platform, direct-to-market platforms. They're trying to sort of engage with the retail market more because they know how big it is.
Well, yeah, I think more and more people, and obviously you're seeing it with people coming over to you for mentoring. We're seeing it with people that ask us questions around it. That more and more people are going to start it because it's so easily accessible. Like, you get a free app and it's like plus 100, for example, download plus 100, instantly put a deposit in and I'm starting trading.
Yeah, like, that's it, it's so accessible now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing in some ways, but
exactly.
if you're not educated or if you haven't got the right knowledge.
So where do you see then, like, retail traders fitting in for the future? How do you see people getting started? Do you think it's going to carry on going in that direction?
I think it'll always be there, I think trading, people always want to look in ways to make more money or an alternative way of making money. It's just getting the right education and doing it properly and not thinking I'm going to make loads of money overnight. I think that's the key. And then, once you can become consistent, that's where, you treat it like almost like a proper job, a career change.
No, exactly.
Rather than a quick get-rich-quick scheme that is online. And
I really think, like, obviously it's so misinformed online, and a lot of the conversations I have is that if you're going to start trading, please be prepared to sit at your desk watching the markets or following the news, like long days. There's a reason why there's trading hours, and traders predominantly are around during the whole trading hours, and then at the right moments get in and out, right? I mean, that's the point of trading. It's like these people that you see online are like, just got out of bed. Yeah, I've done 2 trades an hour and I've won. Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, I know, we know a couple of trading firms in London, and they literally, you're right, they get in at 6 a.m. They're staring at the Bloomberg terminals all day, just sitting there waiting for the right news to come out, which, they'll hit that. Or it might not come out at all, so they're sitting there all day staring at screens and not trading at all. But I think at the same time, and the way I like to trade is you can have like a plan, and you can try and work around
structure
the key bigger times to trade. So you don't actually have to be at your desk all the time, which is one of the benefits. But at the same time, if there are things going on, like the war or different things, which are creating more volatility, you kind of want to be at the desk.
Yeah, because you don't know when the news is coming. It varies a lot. So obviously you guys own a trading floor. What was the decision that you guys took to actually own a trading floor? Because I mean, a lot of the firms don't, right?
I think a couple of reasons. One was just we wanted a trading floor because it's great. It enhances everyone's trading, being around other professional traders. It's a good environment to be in. Everyone can kind of bounce off each other and help each other make money. So that was, the first thing of why we done it. And then obviously the second thing in terms of building trust with people, because there is a lot of crap online. People come in and visit us, meet us, rather than, just try and follow signals or get scammed online. And I think that's kind of made a difference. Yeah,
I think it's quite nice actually being able to go to a trading floor. I think everyone gets a bit excited when they hear about a trading floor as well, don't they? I mean, I remember when I first went on a trading floor at work, I was so surprised at how it was just people sitting at screens. But you look at all the trading, they've got like all 6 screens, and obviously you guys have got it on your your reels and stuff.
Yeah, it can be. It's not always everyone shouting, screaming, and being loud. It's people just staring at, just sitting there, screen.
It's not always the most glamorous.
Not or conversation with each other, but you do need your screens and your different news feed and stuff. It all helps.
Yeah, so obviously then going into the educational side, obviously you started Educate2Trade.
Yeah.
What was the decision you guys took to actually... Because obviously I think a lot of the questions that people have is that, and the challenge that a lot of people bring to any mentor is that, why are you selling me educational services if you're so good at what you do? Like that's the common challenge that almost every mentor will get. So what was the reason that you guys decided to start that? Because it's never going to be just financially if you're doing that, right?
I think we wanted to, first and foremost, educate people and help people, and then train them up to then back them. So we now back traders ourselves.
Okay.
So people that come on our educational program, we employ traders that show consistency. Yeah. So I think that was like the end goal.
To get good qualified,
to get good traders.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like a big filter system where a lot of people come through, and we try and teach them the right ways. And then offer that backing at the end of it. So I think that's kind of how it all started. Obviously I met Neil Crammond, who's been educating for so long, so it just kind of made sense to kind of build it up that way.
Okay, and so obviously on the education then, what are the type of things that you educate people on? Because obviously you offer actual certifications as well. Obviously I've seen level 4, level 5, but what is the obviously there's only so much technical analysis that you can teach them. Well, like what is the core principles of things that you educate people on?
So our level 5 diploma covers like a wide aspect of the market. So like you say, technical, fundamental analysis, but also sort of like bonds, investment banking kind of side. So you get like a wide perspective of the market. And then also with that qualification, we've got quite a high success rate of people going on to get a job in investment banking, or in trading floors that we have connections with in London. So once we got that qualification, it's been really good in terms of people coming through and taking that course and then going on to get a job.
Yeah, and how do you get on with? Because obviously a lot of the stuff that you usually see from like trading educators is obviously it's a signal group or it's just an online course where you have no interaction. How have you found? Because I really like your model where you guys are actually mentors. You have a contact with them. You invite them down to your trading floor to do live sessions. Because I think the live aspect is actually what mentoring is. It's not like an online program.
No.
I think with trading, it's probably one of the only ones that I think you probably do definitely need a course on, purely because actually like playing around with graphs and stuff, like you can do it in person, but it's quite good to do it yourself.
I think one of the main features is our community group. We have like a Telegram discussion group where we do like live Zooms every day in there as well. And it's just engaging for everyone, discussing the markets every day, giving them insights on what's coming out for the day ahead, like all the news events, etc.
Yeah, that you're tracking.
Yeah, so everyone's kind of helping each other in there, and I think that's one of the, like you say, that live interaction is one of the important things.
Yeah, I think community is so important on every business that you start now. For most people, is that you need community at the core of it, because these are the people that are purchasing from you. I think they expect a bit more from people now. I think they deserve a better service, which is obviously why we've provided our platform so that people can make sure that they're getting that service. So obviously you've got that, you've built that. So in terms of what you're actually mentoring people on, because obviously you've got a wide range of stuff. So if I was just starting out as a trader, what would be my first step, would you say?
So our mentorship program itself, you'd start on our beginners advanced online stuff just to give you like a foundation, starting point. And then we get you booked in with one of our mentors, the experienced traders, and just one-to-one interaction, and we kind of step by step teach you like the strategies that we're using day to day. So it's more like a process of we just kind of nail down what works for us, if that makes sense, and then over a period of time you start developing the strategies that we use. So it's very specific. It's not something you'd probably learn anywhere online, because the strategies we use are not online.
They're in-house.
They're not online.
I think that's what I like as well, is that I really hate that people just try and sell other people's stuff. It really annoys me, because obviously they just don't know what they're talking about. Like you're going to be trying to sell somebody's like strategy, and you're like, yeah, well, this is what they told me, but I don't know the ins and outs. So if you've got a question, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just do what I tell you. Like it's ridiculous. So that's the mentoring then. So if somebody wants to get started on the mentoring, how can they get in touch? What's the best place for them to get started?
Yeah, so they just need to, if they contact us through our website or whatever, then we just book them in with like a free one-to-one session with one of the mentors. Yep. So we give them like a half-hour insight into what we look at, the different things that they will be learning. And then from there they can, purchase whatever package they want in terms of how many hours and what sort of mentorship they want.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Cheers. Thank you very much for being our first trader on. So if anyone wants to start with trading, you can find Educate2Trade on Instagram, or go over to Mentor Me and contact them directly.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.